Lucy, color, whatever her name was. No, seriously, give it up. It takes a lot of courage and everything to get up there, so. All right, not wasting any more time. Next person we got coming up, one of your features this evening. Very, very funny guy. Oh, he's not, no, he's not here. Oh, well, okay, then we got Shelby.
Drum roll.
Give it up for Barney, everybody.
Woo!
Speaking of Grimace, he actually had a job at McDonald's, but he got fired because every time he said, "You want fries with that?" it accidentally came out, "Are you going to finish that?" 0.01% of germs are really tough, guys. Or not. It's a hand sanitizer joke. You guys ready for some fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys seem like you might be ready. Does your neck hurt? You've been watching the show like this, like the whole time. So, I recently met my biological mother for the first time. Yeah, since I was 9 months old, 4 hours of FaceTime. And the very first thing she decided to say to me is, "Wow, I didn't think you'd be so skinny." So I was like, "Oh, I must get it from you." She's like, "I'm not skinny, I don't know what you're talking about." "Well, Mom, I've been told I'm so skinny, it's like I'm not even there." That woman, I say woman because I've tried other words, people don't like it when I use the other words. That woman had the nerve to recently post on my Facebook wall publicly that I was a bad son because I missed her birthday. How was I supposed to know? So I went to her Facebook wall and I typed out, "You are a terrible mother. You didn't say happy birthday." And I clicked post 25 times. I have abandonment issues is what I'm trying to say. So a few months back, I was at the store, I was buying this white bathrobe, and the guy in line behind me was a black guy. And he jokingly asked me, like, "What, are you some kind of racist or something?" And at first, I didn't know he was joking, because when you accuse a white person of being racist in public, the only thing they're capable of, like the next 30 seconds, is counting their black friends. So I'm just like, 7? And the confused look on his face, like, somehow made me realize, like, oh, it's a white robe, he was just joking around. So I reassured him. I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not racist. I just don't like the colored ones." And that's how I got punched in the face in Target Express lane. It's Tacoma for you. Now, I actually recently moved to Tacoma, and like in this neighborhood, so it's like spelled a little bit differently. It's spelled with a capital Hood. Yeah, like I knew it was ghetto, I just didn't know how ghetto it was. And until I had a friend come over, and he was out of weed, so he decided to call his weed dealer. Turns out that guy was the neighbor I hadn't met yet. So the weed dealer shows up, and he brings his girlfriend, and his girlfriend is a very large woman. And I don't mean large as in like overweight, I mean like very tall and very in proportion. Basically, if she went back in time, David would throw rocks at her ass. And she was the type that shaved her eyebrows off and drew them on. Yeah, which normally I don't even mind. I actually like the makeup look. But she did them way too high and way too thin. So when she got mad or confused, her forehead turned into a McDonald's sign. And trying to avoid the awkward situation and be polite, I was like, "Oh, you smell nice. What is that?" She's like, "Febreze." Which coincidentally was also her name. So me and my girlfriend, we have a very sitcom relationship. Meaning I'm goofy looking and I fuck everything up. And she's way too attractive for me and she's in control of most things. One of those things is the Xbox. I mean, I don't get to play video games very often. Because getting between her and the Xbox, It's like walking through Detroit wearing Klan robes. You might get away with it. You're probably gonna get your ass kicked. Yeah. And we're in a long-term relationship too, so the sex kind of comes and goes. But every once in a while, we'll have one of those nights. And, you know, those nights where the booty's so good it fights evil. And those nights where she walks into the bedroom looking like a runway supermodel in slow motion, right? But then she leaves the bedroom walking like Forrest Gump in the beginning of the movie. It's even better when she can't walk and you let the Lieutenant Dan in the bed. Yeah, it's my night. My night. You want to know why that's my night? Because I know for the next few nights that Xbox is fucking mine. You guys listen to the radio at all? Woo! You guys heard that song, Talk Dirty to Me? Oh man, I love that song. I love that song a lot. One thing I do hate though is 2 Chainz. And 2 Chainz is a rapper, he's in that song. Terrible rapper. He has a line in the song where he's like, "Pussy's so good I bought her a pet." Right? You're thinking the same thing I am. Great. Now some woman that had sex with 2 Chainz is responsible for a living thing. Tell 2 Chainz he's the best you've ever had. You get a voucher for a free bearded dragon at PetSmart. Tank not included. Oh man. So I recently got my cell phone. Like I hadn't had a cell phone in like years. It was like my thing. It was dumb, don't do that. Cell phones are cool. I got my cell phone, and when I first got it, it had this voice command software in it. And I ended up uninstalling it because I went over to a friend's house and I was excited about my phone. And I was like, oh yeah, it has this voice command stuff. I can just say open browser and the internet pops up. The problem is when I said open browser, the internet popped up to the last tab that I was on. Now everybody there knows I jacked off to a piss video on Pornhub before I got to the party. I feel some judgment off that one, and I don't think that's fair because I know every single guy in this room is jacked off to a whole hell of a lot worse than a girl getting a butthole beat into. I just had to get off my chest. I have abandonment issues. I told you that earlier. I did recently end up reinstalling the voice command software because I just got a new car. Go me. Closet. Yeah. Got a new car. It was really hard finding somebody to actually pay for it though because my credit sucks. Netflix is like the only bill I pay on time. But I did recently reinstall the voice command software, and I was using the GPS to get to a friend's house. I had never been to his house before. Not the same friend, I'm not allowed there anymore. I was using the GPS to get to a friend's house, and I was driving along, and one of my favorite songs comes on the radio, Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, I love that song. And since I was by myself in the car, I decided to sing along, or as I like to call it, karaoke because I'm clever.
I'm trying to rewind back in.
And he gets to the chorus, you know how it goes, he's like, I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. So I sang that and my phone rerouted and I ended up in a liquor store. My girlfriend said it 1,000 times, but now my cell phone's telling me I have a drinking problem. So I talked about my girlfriend earlier. I'm going to talk about her again, like I just did. She's making me mad, so you guys could hear about it all. We had an argument last week because she went to the doctors for something that our insurance does not cover. And now I'm stuck paying a few $100 for some test for a doctor to tell her if she was overweight or not. Yeah. And we're arguing about it, and she's not listening to me. I'm like, why didn't you talk to me first? I could have told you for free. Yeah, she got the same look on her face. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, if you wanted a second opinion, the bathroom's got a mirror in it. Yeah, I don't know why she's always making shit so fucking complicated. You know what I do when I want to find out if I'm overweight or not? I look down. That's simple. I have a confession to make. Actually, that argument wasn't actually about the doctor's appointment. It was about me telling people that joke. And I told her the joke, and she just puts her hand up on my face. And I misunderstood the universal sign up top to the hand for the universal sign up top. And now I have to tell the audience the truth. It's one of her stipulations. She is 5 foot even and weighs 97 pounds.
97, not 100.
She was very clear about that. It's like I'm gonna put rounding up next to pussy on my don't list for a while. I do have to put up with it though. She is way too attractive for me. Like, she gets hit on all the time in front of me. Like, people honestly think I'm a gay friend or something. Like, it's like saying shit like, why don't you ditch that faggot and get with a real man? Yeah, I'm glad you guys are laughing. I think my mom's kind of a bitch for saying that. Thank you. She puts up with a lot from me though. Like a few years ago I discovered Urban Dictionary. And along with it those superhero sex tricks. And like the Spider-Man where you finish in her hand and you throw it in her face, or the Superman where you land on her back and you stick a sheet to it. Yeah, those aren't mine. Those aren't mine. Those are just so that we're on the same page here. Right? The point that I'm trying to get to is that she didn't like him as much as I did. Yeah, and I couldn't tell you why. It was a few weeks later, and I wasn't even thinking about it, right? I'm laying on my back and I'm finishing her hand. She just gets this big shitty smile across her face. And I was like, what? And her face drops. She gets super serious. She's like, there are orcs freely roaming the countryside. Unchecked, unchallenged, killing at will. Orcs sparing the white hand of Saruman. And then she slapped me in the fucking face. Bitch cheated. She didn't even use a superhero. It's a Lord of the Rings joke. Google it later. I've only got so much time. So, you guys listen to the radio though, right?
Yep.
We went across that earlier. Have you guys heard that commercial for the Seattle Aquarium? Good, I get to explain. It's my favorite commercial. They make it seem like these kids. They make it seem like these kids are on a tour of the Seattle Aquarium, and they introduce fun facts to accentuate that it's a learning experience. And in this particular commercial, the curator walks the kids in, and he's like, "This is an octopus." And the kids are like, "Cool." He's like, "This octopus knows you," and the kids are like, "Oh shit." He's like, "This octopus knows you because they can recognize faces." This little girl that couldn't be any more than 9 years old was like, "I knew he was checking me out." That's the commercial, that's not even a joke. Sorry, Seattle Aquarium, only fun fact I learned is that octopuses are pedophiles. 8 tentacles, that's 8 kids at once, that's half a kindergarten class in one go. Don't take your kids to the aquarium, it's a terrible place for children. Summer passes, they cover a few things, therapy's not one of them. It's a terrible place. Alright, how much time do I got?
Keep going.
7 minutes? Sweet! Awesome. So, me and my girlfriend, we recently pet sat. We watched a fucking cat for a couple hours. And we don't have any pets of our own, but now we got fleas. It's not bad though, because we don't have carpet, so as long as you're on the hardwood, you're safe. But like as soon as you step on a mat, it's just like BAM! Itchy ankles. So yeah, I've got bugs. Oh, I've got bugs. Bugs in different area rugs. It's fucking ludicrous. Thank you, 3 people that understood my ludicrous reference. You guys ever seen those power walkers? The older folks that you see like walking down the road. Doesn't it look like they're walking away from an argument that they lost but felt like they should have won? If you listen to them closely, you can actually hear them mutter under their breath, just like, "Oh, you're stupid. I should have said that." Let's try not one on for size, didn't work. So I am in a relationship now, I've made that clear. But before that I was using dating websites. and I would like set up a profile and set up a date, no one would ever show up. It happened a handful of times and I got depressed and was like, alright, I'm gonna try one last time. So I created a profile, set up a date. 30 minutes later there was a knock at my door. Yeah, shit worked. I did find out, however, that if every time you open the door and you're like, tell me about yourself, what's your favorite color? Domino's will stop delivering pizza to your house. It's okay though, because they put the delivery person's name on the receipt. Delivery guy, it's Washington, whatever, let me be myself. They put the delivery guy's name on the receipt, and I used the order tracker, so I knew it took 12 minutes to get to my house. 12 minutes and 45 seconds later, I call up Domino's, like, is Zeke there? They're like, may I ask who's calling? I'm like, this is Jim, I lost my cell phone, I really need to get a hold of him, it's a family emergency. Because who's not going to hand Zeke the phone after something like that? Zeke gets on the phone like, hello? Like, are you a Pisces? Because I'm an Aquarius, that'd be perfect. Blacklisted from Domino's now. It's okay. Got Pizza Hut next. Actually created a profile on the website. John's delivered pizza to my house a couple times. Who knows, maybe sparks will fly. Oh, you're right, he's no Zeke though. So a few months back I was at the mall, taking a piss. This little kid goes running out of the restroom without washing his hands. And I think that's disgusting. So I was like, hey, didn't your mother ever teach you to wash your hands after using the restroom? This shitty little kid turns around and looks at me and he's like, didn't your mother ever teach you not to talk to little kids when you've got your dick in your hand? Tell your kids to wash their hands after they use the restroom. You know how long it took me to tell everybody in my neighborhood the court-mandated version of that story? My house has been getting vandalized because of that shitty little kid. I woke up this morning to go to work. I got in my car. Someone had spray painted the word octopus across my garage door. Alright, we're in Auburn. Where are my broke people at? Who here is close to the poverty line as well? Anybody? Broke people? Yeah. So, I got a way to fix it. Yeah, I got a way to fix it. If you guys are down, we can hook up. Not in a sexual way. Not in a sexual way. However, there will still be cameras involved. We'll give video tours of each other's houses. Call it EBT cribs. And instead of showing off our mansions and our Cristal bottles and our cars, we'll show off our apartments and our 211 cans and our bus passes. I'm poor now because I grew up poor. And I grew up poor because my parents were addicted to meth. Anybody else? I grew up poor because my parents were addicted to meth. It was pretty bad. Like, I came home from school once and my bicycle was missing. And usually when something of mine came up missing that could be considered expensive if you live below the poverty line, something good would happen. Like, there'd be food in the fridge or the lights would come back on. Right? And not this time I checked. So I went to my stepmom, I'm like, the fuck's my bike? This shitty little kid. She was like, don't interrupt me, I'm having a phone conversation. Except she was holding a garage door opener. Man. I lived in a trailer, there was no garage. Like, I don't even know where she got it. It's a true story, by the way. It was bad, I don't mean to bring the mood down. It was bad. It did have its perks though. For instance, if there was food in the house, I got as much as I wanted whenever I wanted. So I ain't gonna miss it. The kitchen was cool. The bathroom was pretty cool too, because I pretty much got that tube of toothpaste all to myself. The best part was that my dad was a mechanic and he had a mullet. He started smoking meth in the 80s, which means MacGyver is his favorite TV show. So whenever I broke a toy, I would get it back better than before when it broke. Yeah, I had Nerf guns that could break windows. Yeah, my grandma, she bought me a Power Wheels for Christmas when it broke down, gave it to my dad, got it back with a lawnmower engine in it. Neighbor's grass was long as hell for a couple months, but I was the fastest kid on the block. The best one was, I broke my transformer, and when I got it back, it had a barbecue lighter attached to it. Yeah, and you could light the barbecue lighter with the garage door opener my stepmom was talking to earlier. Did your Optimus Prime out with flamethrower? My Optimus Prime out of flamethrower. I told my dad that joke, and he was like, huh, I started in 91. MacGyver was already my favorite TV show. Alright, well that didn't end on a good note, so I'm gonna throw a little something else out there. I was at the social gathering a few weeks back, and I overheard this group of females discussing how a vibrating toothbrush makes for an excellent incognito and or impromptu sex toy. And at first, I thought that was kind of weird, but I've done some thinking about it. It's actually a pretty fucking good idea. So I've come across a few vaginas with pretty bad breath. Alright, thank you, Albert.